Yo, it's your boy Simon, and today I'm going to take you through my journey in receiving, which is the worst part of prison. Here we go. It all started at my last court date. They made me sign away that plea bargain deal. I got 8.5 years. I don't know what to expect. I never been to prison, didn't know what it was all about. All I heard is mumbo jumbo from left guy, third guy, fourth guy. So I still remember this vividly. I asked my family, should I take this time? I wasn't going to. I wanted to go all out. I wanted to go to trial because I figured 8.5 years, my life was over with anyways. But my family convinced me to take the time. And what was to follow suit, I could have never imagined. The step next in jail is receiving. So basically, you go to receiving until they find the correct classification of prison that you're going to be in. So they wheeled me out of the courtroom, and everybody's looking at me like, holy shit, this kid just got 8.5 years. I was emotionally distraught. I was unable to think. I was unable to just feel anything at all. Rather, I felt numb. There were so many emotions coming at me at once that it just felt surreal. I got back to Cook County Jail. All my homies, all the boys, they asked me, so what's gonna happen to you? What'd you get? I told them I had to take 8.5 years, otherwise it was going to trial. They're like, oh dude, you're going to receiving, man. You're going to receiving. And I didn't know what to expect. They told me receiving is the worst part of the system. You're gonna be literally in a cell with another dude for the next 30, 60 to 90 days, even longer sometimes. So I say my goodbyes to all the homies that I met there over a year. The bus comes, they put us on the bus. Northern Receiving Center is the one that I went to in Illinois. I transferred over from Cook County Jail, and when we got there, it was just a big brick castle looking like building. It looked like a bunker. So we rolled up. At this point, they took me out of my wheelchair and they gave me crutches because I couldn't walk correctly due to having a cast on my leg. And when we got in there, it was cage after cage after cage. The sheer chill that I felt in there, the goosebumps was just surreal. It was almost like a hospital and a morgue just all in one. So we arrive in there. They put us in our cages. Every single cage filled to the brim with dudes, with men. And basically receiving is a place where they give you a new identity. Literally in receiving. If you've never been in jail, if you've never been to prison, you get your IBOC number or Department of Correction number, depending on what state you're at. And that number's still embedded in my head. Every time somebody asks you, who are you? You say the number. There is no names. There is no first base, name basis, nothing. You are simply a number. So we're in the cages. We're filling out paperwork. We're getting finger stamped. We're getting blood samples. We're getting alcohol swabbed in the mouth. And they're basically preparing a huge file on us. This file was roughly, I don't know, 2 inches thick. They line us up. There was a wall of 40 men. I remember this vividly. This all happened after they tested us. And they tell us to get naked. Drop your pants. Drop all your clothes. Everybody's looking at each other like, okay. So we got butt-ass naked. There's about 4 or 5 cops standing in front of us. And each one of them is telling us to lift our balls, bend over and cough, open your mouth, stomp on your feet to make sure everything jiggles out. And the sheer dehumanizing effect that had on everybody. You could just feel the aroma, the presence of negativity in the air. Never felt so dehumanized in my life. So we put on our clothes. Rather, they put us in the showers afterwards. And once we go in these showers, these are ice cold showers, no hot water. We're all barefoot in there. All they gave us is a bar of soap to wash your hair and your skin with. So they wash all of us. It's like a concentration camp almost. So there's 40 men in a big shower. And once we leave, they give us boxers and a t-shirt and a jumpsuit. And these boxers were 4X. They had nothing else. They had 4X boxers. You literally had to tie the end of these boxers to be able to wear them. It was like wearing parachute pants. It was ridiculous. Once they gave us all our belongings, they marched us down these hallways. These hallways were like huge, just blank spaces. They seemed ginormous. My mind was just going all over the place. I didn't know where they were taking us. I felt like we were death marching into some unknown world. So everybody's getting split up at this time. We're all going to our individual cells. And they put me in a cell with an older gentleman. I had crutches at this time, so I had to be housed on the bottom. And usually they only house people that have to be on the bottom tier. So little did I know, the cell that they put me in there with was on numerous psych medications. And I figured out one night when I was laying in bed and I feel the whole bunk shaking. So in the cell, the makeup is just a toilet and a sink put together on top of a big ass slab of bricks into the wall, and then another slab coming out on top of it. There's no ladder, so you got to jump up and so on and so forth. And you do actually have a table in there, which is about the size of an 18 by 18 circle. So we're in there, and the first night, the whole bunk is shaking. I don't know what he's doing. He's literally just seizing up above me. But at this point, I've only been incarcerated for about a year, so I was kind of too afraid to say something. And this happened for about 3 days, up until I looked up on my homie, what's going on up there? And he's like, man, I'm just on medication. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I got 7.5 years left of this, so I don't know what to expect. I just let him be. Another day passes. I'm sleeping. That's all you have to do in there. You can only sleep, and if you're blessed enough somehow to get a book, then you're golden. But I'm in there, and the next thing I start hearing is whispers. This guy is at the front of the cell by the door with a box of little cereal that we used to get in the mornings. And I hear squeaking. He was talking to rats while feeding them Cheerios. At this point, I put the blanket over my face, and I just say, you know what, man? I did this to myself. It's going to be a long haul. It's going to be a long ride. And they gave me 2 to 3 cellies after him. He ended up going to his designated prison. I ended up going to my designated prison after the fact. But, rewind on that one. I get my next cellie. He was a younger dude. About maybe 18, 19 years old. Rap star, up and coming. All he would do, beat on the walls, make beats. I'm talking all night, all day. Hey, it even got to the point where I was losing my mind and I was making beats with him. It was a different time. Anything to entertain yourself in there, you're going to do it because your mind just races, and you got to learn to occupy a racing mind. Otherwise, you're just going to go crazy. So cellie after cellie after cellie, it feels like I'm never going to leave out of there. It feels like I'm stuck. And eventually they call my name. They call my number. And they're like, yo, pack it up. You're going to prison. So basically the process in the state works like this. It's county jail where you fight your case. Then you go to receiving, which is where they build your file and they designate what prison you're going to. And then you go to your initial prison. So I remember that pack out day. They call my number. They say, Simon, you're going to K something. Every prison has its own number. And I didn't know what K, whatever, I forgot what it was. So I start asking everybody, hey, man, I'm going to K this. What prison is that? He's like, oh, man, bro, you're screwed, man. Ooh, that's one of the worst joints there is. Everybody's basically messing around with you. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But I ended up leaving the cell. I pack all my stuff up. At that point, I had like 4 bars of soap. And some snacks I saved up. I had no books, no nothing. So I'm marching down this cold hallway, and the same process happens again. They swab you again. You get butt-ass naked. You show them you got nothing on you, and you go into a bus. And that bus ride, it lasted about 5 hours. I remember vividly, I was on this bus. They chain every single person on the bus with one single chain. And we're all just shackled like this, literally sitting next to each other. It's like an old school bus with the windows barred up, so you can't see inside or outside. So this drive into the horizon, into southern Illinois, it was I felt like movie-esque vibes. I didn't know what my reality was going to be for the next 7 years in prison, but from what I've learned up until that time, I was going into the unknown. I didn't know what to expect. That was my journey through receiving. Much more had happened, but just a brief take. What came next was astonishing. That's when I got into the prison system. I didn't know what to expect. That video coming up next. So if you like this video, if you're interested in future videos, hit that like, hit that subscribe. I also stream on twitch.tv/everyonekills every single night at 11 CT. Come through, come kick it. And as always, stay good, be safe, make wise decisions. And until next time, peace.